Night is the first night ever that No News is News will be simulcast on Facebook, Twitch, and Kick. Potentially Pumped Up Fun in the near future here, but we're on all of the live streamers today, guys. Kicking it off the right way. And why is it just not showing the totals now? I guess it's not going to show a total now if I do too many of them. Oh, there's the total. That's what we wanted there. Thank you very much. Guys, welcome back to another episode of No News is News. I'm your host, Alex R. Wagner. We're starting a little late tonight, but that's what happens on a Saturday night, right? Got to start a little late on a Saturday night. Saturday in the park. It was almost the 4th of July. Got to put that monetization on. Getting all that YouTube stuff right. And whatever. No News is News is right there. And we are live from where? Where are we broadcasting from? We're broadcasting from Austin, Texas. Oh my God. And with that said, guys, let's take a look at our Kelchi odds as we go into our poll of the day. Gavin Newsom on a 3-day tear on our poll of the day. Everybody. And who's going to get that fourth spot today? Well, goody two shoes. Mr. Jon Ossoff gets that fourth position with 8.4% over AOC's 8%. So he's going to make the poll today. And we actually get to hear from Jon Ossoff later in our program, or actually at the start of our program, I believe. Yeah. So with that said, guys, let's put the poll of the day in here. Who will be president? Oh, no. Did I not switch those settings? I feel like I'm supposed to. I did. I switched them to 7,000. Okay. That should fix that. All right. YouTube is not receiving enough video to remain smooth streaming. Okay. Well, we will see, but that should have been fixed. 2028. Who will be president in 2028? 864 days until election. We got Mr. J.D. Vance. Sitting pretty in the top position, right? Is that right? Yeah, that is true. JD's back at top position. And what does JD got right now? JD got 34 wins. 34 wins from Mr. JD Vance. Then we got Mr. Marco Rubio. And he's got 2 wins in our poll. And then we got Mr. Gavin Newsom, which we will hear from today. He had a new pod out. He dropped a new podcast episode, his own podcast episode. And then we got, instead of AOC, we have Jon Ossoff. Wow. Okay, get your votes in now, people. Let me set up my chat real quick for a second, guys. And then we will get the party started. Actually, we can get the party started before I even set up the chat. Let's get them going. All right. Image there. Boom, 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 boom. Here we are. We're going to get the party started with Jon Ossoff down on the... Oh, no. What am I doing? I forgot. We had a special treat today that dropped. Our Joke World dropped a awesome political crossover. A montage of every comedian talking about the White House UFC. What's the deal? So let's take a look at all of this.
They're playing peanuts.
On June 14th, a UFC fight took place on the White House lawn, and somehow comedians are the ones making headlines. From the comics who were in attendance recapping the fight on podcasts.
They're mad at people for being there. Like, oh, you support Trump. Like, it's a fucking fight at the White House. Doesn't mean you endorse foreign policy.
To multiple comedians reacting on stage.
There's a lot of conflict in me with the direction that UFC has gone. For me, as someone who watches like mixed martial arts and stuff like that, I watch boxing, I watch like MMA, Muay Thai, I watch like karate tournaments, wrestling tournaments. I just like combat sports, which always surprises people in a way that's offensive.
And even all of the event's most dramatic moments.
Obama is a man.
Michelle Obama should have made an Undertaker-like entrance.
This is every comedian's reaction to the UFC Freedom 250 fight on the White House lawn, starting off with the man who was calling the event, talking to Tim Dillon on episode 2518 of the Joe Rogan Experience.
There is this moment where the UFC thing was going on, where like the planes flew overhead, where it just like, I'm like, is this even real?
It was wild. It's such an amazing spectacle. This was this is senior prom. This is it. This is the party.
Senior prom.
There's a moment after senior prom, or some party that you have senior, the summer of senior, and you're looking around at all your friends, you're all high and drunk, and you're looking around, and if you're smart, and most people, a lot of them have this thought, they go, this is never going to be like this again. This will never be like this again. We'll never be able to get together on the White House lawn and do motocross and watch UFC and call Michelle Obama a man.
In the same way that I think the MAGA movement's final party was the octagon on the White House lawn, that seems to be a fitting symbol of the finale of the MAGA movement. As a cultural force, that was the most fun. It's not going to get more fun than that.
There's
You're
no
not
way it
going
can
to
get more
top
fun.
this as a party goes. You are
Can't
not
top it.
going to top UFC on the White House lawn for
top
the die-hard MAGA people.
Can't top
this
it.
is what they got. They were promised a lot of other stuff.
Facts.
They were promised a lot of other stuff, but this is what they got. This is kind of the finale
I'm
of
satisfied.
MAGA. This is what it is.
That was
Take it
great.
away. There it goes. Yeah. There it is. Dana White, Trump. I mean, listen, as finales go, this was pretty big. This is a spectacular, what are you going to do? You can't top UFC on the White House lawn, and then one guy comes out and goes, Michelle Obama's a man. Could it get better than that? In the same way that when Hollywood did that Imagine video, they had no idea that they were on their way to being like irrelevant and hated.
Thank God for
Fight,
Trump.
it was like brutal and crazy.
Like good fights or bad fights? They were.
Good. I mean, a lot of them were like first round KOs. Like Sean O'Malley had like a walk-off KO where
Is he the guy with the
salute-
pink hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's cool.
He saluted, but I didn't even see it because I fell asleep. But Justin Gaethje and that guy Ilya Taporia, the dude from Georgia, Justin Gaethje was given a literal 0% chance of winning from everybody
facts.
going in.
It was very
This
much the Rocky moment.
Successful journeyman. He's 37, I think, or 38, and this is his like last real title shot. And he was gonna get smoked in front of the president in round one, and he won.
He won?
He beat the brakes off this guy to the point where he quit on the stool. His brother and him were just like, no, because he was gonna die.
Yeah.
Like he lost both vision in both of his eyes, and he gave him like this.
That's
punch
true.
to
He couldn't even see, bro.
What
And
is
his-
that thing? The liver.
his brother
The
wanted him to
liver
keep
punch
going?
That like apparently would cripple most humans.
yeah.
And he was just like, if you see the pictures of him after, it looks like he was like involved in an explosion.
Is that the guy who said Michelle Obama's a man after?
No, that's Hogan, who like his whole thing is like, I'm going to embody the lowest brow whatever. Like I'm gonna be a Kill Tony contestant for my time on UFC.
Okay, guys, make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, send people into the algorithm by keeping the chat going, keeping the conversations happening. As the chat gets moving, we will see the chat rolling up live on the ticker right below me. Thank you all for stopping by. No news is news. Today is a special day because we are checking out our friends over at Joke World and their montage of every comedian across America's response to White House 250 at the UFC.
Because that was one of those things
White
that I
House
saw
law.
that clip, and I was
Trump
kind
is
of
your
like,
daddy,
even me, I kind of,
24/7,
I'm a
365,
comedian,
he
whatever,
makes
I
lefties
don't care
cry
what
every
people
day.
say, but even I was like, ugh, dude.
It's just
Don't
like
say that. I mean, she is, but don't say it.
the only
Oh, and with 5 minutes in, guys, Gavin Newsom still taking it. He's on a 3-day win streak. He might get a 4th win here. Gavin Newsom currently holding out on that poll today.
She isn't.
He's
She's
the
hot.
next
I
president of
could
the
talk to her.
United States
The
for
only
y'all.
thing that offends me is the hack.
Yeah.
Like all of this stuff, it doesn't. It's like whatever. Say what you're gonna say. Of course, you're going for shock. It missed me with that. But if you're repeating the same joke I've literally heard since I did Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole in 2013, it's like fucking come up with something new.
Has that rumor been around since then? That Obama's a man?
They were calling her Mike Obama.
Oh, so it's real then?
Big Mike. Yeah.
Do you think she is then?
No, she just is a.
You think she is that?
She's just athletic. Like, that's the problem. She has muscles.
What'd you think about Shane being?
I didn't hear that. So what happened with Shane?
Shane just
Yeah,
walked
Shane
to
Gillis got
TMZ,
harassed
asked him
on
what he thought, and
TMZ.
He said he didn't like it.
He's like, I'm not into
Yeah,
it.
he's
I'm
like,
not
I
into
don't
it.
like that at all.
Yeah. I mean,
But then Jameel Hill.
Yeah, I mean, That's all of our reaction. Chris Stefano is all of our reaction to Shane Gillis saying he didn't like the Michelle Obama moment. Yeah, I mean, God bless Trump. Welcome back, Notorious TBG.
What's the difference, Shane? Where does it end? And it's like,
shut up,
well, it ends
Jamil.
with comics. Like,
Yeah.
Shane is a sanctioned comedian that tells jokes.
Shane
and
is
also,
a
if you listen to his
sanctioned
jokes,
comedian.
you'll
Sanctioned comedian? What?
kind of understand the intelligence behind them. But whereas that is just a moron.
No, it's not necessarily a moron because, again, he was smart enough to understand that he was bombing with his Hogan character. He's an undefeated fighter on the White House lawn getting booed by service members. He needed to make a moment. He's undefeated. He needs to get himself the title shot. What do you do on the White House lawn? Say the most un-PC, uncolored joke you could possibly say. Say something that everyone understands the joke, or you're on a national stage. You have to say the ABC style joke. And an ABC style controversial fucking joke there to say is Michelle Obama's a man. So I think that there was a lot of education behind Hogan saying it. I think that Hogan knew that he was bombing in the interview with Joe Rogan in the cage and knew that he had to do something to make it up. So how do you make it up? Well, you do that. You know what I mean? Like, you throw out the Michelle Obama's a man. And guess what? The next day, the only thing anybody had anything to say about was Hogan and what Hogan had to say.
Throwing out an inflammatory thing to get
Yes, is held a
Shane,
disease.
how'd you enjoy the night, man?
Pretty cool.
What do you think of Josh?
It was incredible.
What do you think of him saying Michelle Obama's a man?
I didn't love that.
How was it? Shane, what do
I
you
mean,
think?
he's also drunk and being talked to by TMZ. He thinks it's hilarious they're even asking him these questions. You got me on a few brewskis. The fucking person that thank you guys. Like, come
The
on.
best was like in between fights, they'd blast like, "Let the bodies hit the floor." That's just insane.
At the White House?
Yeah, at the White House.
The White House.
Yeah. I almost didn't go, but they got me. They posted a video of them doing like dirt bikes, and I was like,
I did see the dirt bike video.
That's
Dirt
pretty
bikes.
fucking
This one
cool.
did it for me.
Fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, I have to go.
This is
see
our country. It's motocross in front of the White House on the lawn.
Oh, they did
Hell yeah.
like metal militia type, like dirt bike.
Yes. Yeah.
They're doing ramps.
They were
on
doing
the-
like flips and shit, like just like.
literally with dirt ramps on the lawn.
That sounds awesome.
It made me go.
I saw you on TMZ, and they were interviewing you, and then Tony was walking
Shane
right
Gillis,
next to
a
you.
proud
You could
Trump
tell he
guy,
really
and
wanted to be
hilarious.
interviewed too, but he couldn't say anything.
Yeah, he knew he was getting
What do
stuck
you
by
think I
TMZ.
thought
Because
about
look at how he's talking on Skanks. He's talking on Skanks a whole lot different than he was talking on TMZ.
Done me no favors. If he would have jumped in.
Oh yeah.
Finally, somebody with the balls to say it.
It was amazing. One of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
That's cool.
Oh my God. I talked a bunch of people into going that didn't want to, like Shane Gillis was thinking about not going. I'm like, bro, you gotta go. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be a once ever thing, not a once in a
Yeah.
life.
Double tap. Make sure you like that. Hit that like button. Hit subscribe. Send people into the algorithm. Keep the chat going. Have your conversations and eat them too. Were you offended by the UFC White House? And if you are, why? Why? Why can't you handle fun? Huh? Also, Shane Gillis saying that he was not about to not go because he was worried about looking like a right winger. I don't know. Has the cancel culture gotten to Shane Gillis? Is he trying to just stay out of the pressure cooker? That's really interesting that Joe Rogan's saying that about him. Guys, with 10 minutes into our poll, 50 minutes left of our show, Gavin Newsom currently leading it for a fourth day in a row. This will be his fourth day in a row win. Yeah, girl. With that catching on Richard, you TDS loser, laugh my ass
Lifetime.
off.
Once in anybody's lifetime. And
Love
so many
you to
people are
love
trying
you,
to make it a
Yoko.
partisan thing. Like they're mad at people for being there. Like, oh, you support Trump. Like it's a fight at the White House. Doesn't mean you endorse foreign policy. Like shut the up. Just
That's too
please.
much.
Just please stop.
So he goes to the White House UFC event, and you know it's so the way that certain people are positioning it is that Nate went to Trump's birthday party. So instead of calling it a UFC event, they call it Trump's birthday party.
You know what's interesting about being...
But also, what people don't mention is every time that somebody says it was Trump's birthday party, yeah, it was on his birthday, but it also was National Flag Day, which is literally the day that we rose the flag for the Declaration of Independence 3 weeks later. What the fuck, people?
Political... that if I had
Gillis
some sort
isn't
of
actually
invite or
right wing.
hookup and I was
People who
home
think he
to
is
go to the
retired.
UFC at the
Facts. I mean, think about like his sister and all of like the like PA Democratic organizations that he's like literally tied to, like nonprofits and shit. Like He was never a right winger. He was just a real one that was able to say it when a lot of the Democrats wouldn't. Anon, he most definitely is. I don't know. I think that if you think that Shane Gillis is a total right winger,
agreed.
Now, there's nothing
missing.
that
You're
there's
missing
no
there.
way this would happen. Obviously, so it's obviously
I think if anything, he's
hypothetical,
more
but if
left.
I was in
Really,
a situation where I was known enough, where I went through, and stupid RFK was like picture or photo op, I'd go, sure.
Right.
If Trump was like photo op, I'd go,
picture with
sure.
you, Big J.
You know what I'm saying? The point I'm making is just like, it goes, I think Trump seems, by all accounts, and everything I've seen myself, it seems like Trump's kind of f***ing up and he sucks. I don't really give a shit. But if he was like, the president was like, hey,
I think you suck, Jay.
Sure. But I'm saying, if the president was like, the president was taking a picture with you, I'd go, sure.
Right.
So, I mean, like, the coals these people are held over sometimes blows my mind.
BJ, I would love to take a picture with you.
Well,
I'm a fan of Z-Rock. That is my favorite show.
I think Dana White's a weenus. I would take 8 pictures with him.
Yeah, why not?
He made the UFC, dude.
I do think the libs have this one completely wrong. It's like, it looked awesome. It was fucking, the White House is in the backdrop of it. It looked sick. Like, is it a propaganda?
Oh, they flashed Larbar out. Where's my girl Larbar?
It's just gay that they would do.
Oh, there's Nate.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
How are the pictures moving? Yeah. I gotta see from my chair, dickhead.
I had to put out a lot of fires that week. I have a huge liberal fan base. I have like 5 million followers on Bluesky. You guys don't even know about it.
That's right here,
But I was putting out fire after fire all week. Like, guys, dude, come on.
I didn't really. I didn't give a. I mean,
I didn't give a
You
fuck.
shouldn't. It's crazy.
I didn't.
It's crazy. It's so dumb and crazy. The news in general.
I just didn't look for a week.
And then it's gone.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's how much it doesn't matter. You just don't look, and it goes.
Away.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Any regular person you talk to is going,
Facts.
"Oh yeah, either oh yeah, I forgot that was happening," or "Yeah, I wonder how that was." If you're for real getting mad about a news story,
Facts.
you're retarded.
Facts. Facts, Matt McCusker. Matt McCusker preaching the fucking choir, my guys. Guys, if you get one fundamental thing from the show, get it from Matt McCusker. Get it today. Guys, here it is. UFC Freedom 250 summed the fuck up by the shaman himself. The best way you possibly can fucking say it.
You shouldn't. It's crazy.
I didn't.
It's
It's
crazy.
insane.
It's so dumb and crazy. The news.
Dumb and crazy.
I just didn't look for a week.
And then it's gone.
Yeah.
That's how much it doesn't matter. You
Does
just
not
don't look,
matter.
and it goes. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Any regular person you talk to is going, "Oh yeah, either oh yeah, I forgot that was happening," or "Yeah,
Oh yeah.
wonder how that was."
went.
If you're for real getting mad about a news story, you're retarded.
You're retarded.
It's true.
Wow.
Especially,
I feel like I want to just take that little last part and put that as like the intro to every video I ever do.
you're fucking no, it's true.
Wow.
Especially
It's
that.
just-
If
it's just this part.
going, oh yeah, either if you're for real getting
Right
mad,
here.
if you're for
Just
real
this.
getting,
This
if
is
you're
my
for real getting,
this is my new logo, okay? This is my new intro for every video I ever do.
if you're for real getting mad about a news story, you're retarded. You're fucking no, it's true. Especially that. If it's like, you know, if it's like a cultural, political, it's like you're retarded. Like you're for real.
And the ellipsis.
Facts, more people have been arrested for
Dude, the
vandalism
ellipsis.
on Green Pond than have ever been
Don't
arrested for
even
FC5.
talk to me about the dead grass on the
Facts.
ellipsis.
What happened?
Not my ellipsis. Not like this.
Matt, another right
Exactly.
wing
No one
real
knows what
one.
the
Right
the
wing?
ellipsis is until now. Now all of a sudden everyone's going,
you though.
the ellipsis grass is dead. Just shut up. We got bigger fish to fry than some dead grass. That will be fine.
Yeah, that is funny how everyone suddenly was like, it's just such a sacred space and it should never have been used for this. Like,
There you
shut
go.
up.
I remember what was going on in there.
I remember what was going on
I
there.
remember some old things in there.
Hunter Biden wrote, he had
Shout
some
out
nice,
HB,
nice
dude.
words. He had some
Shout
nice
out
words.
HB.
But in the end, he goes, I don't think that place should be desecrated like that. And it's like, yo, let's do a lie detector about whose cocaine was in the White House.
Don't talk about my boy HB. I saw the positive tweet. Now I'm
He's a
full
man.
HB. Dude.
He's a man.
He said he liked me. So
Yeah.
now
She goes got a tweet
Dude,
from
I
HB.
forgive him. Thinking about going to the White House UFC.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
It's a tough one to go to. I can't decide. It's a tough choice because it's gonna be sick as fuck It's on the White House lawn.
Yeah.
How is that a
It's like
tough?
new.
I don't understand how it's a tough choice, though. I understand the comedy and the joke of saying it's a tough choice. I would hope that what he's doing is just exacerbating the joke to his friend, who is clearly a liberal. But to say it's a hard choice, and then to hear that even Joe Rogan had to convince Shane Gillis to go to the fucking UFC event. Like, is it really that brutal to deal with some Washington Post reporters making up some random shit when you get to see something so cool? Are you so worried about getting laid in your late 30s that you can't go to UFC Freedom 250? You need a phone call from Joe Rogan to give you permission? It's a crazy thought, but it seems pretty fucking close to what happened with Shane Gillis here.
Right?
Sick, dude.
Didn't they just like make it for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like still building it, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Also, if you get hit, if somebody blows it up, it's a good way to go.
Yeah. Then
You know what I
you're
mean?
sure to get
Good way to go. You know what I mean?
You'll get
Exactly.
a barrel.
Be crazy.
And he's making that joke, but everybody that would be offended that he's going to the UFC Freedom 250 would never laugh at that joke. So if you know who your audience is, you know what I mean? Defend your audience, but do not defend. Like, you don't have to defend politics or a political side, but defend your audience. And your audience is common sense enough to know everyone that is a Shane Gilly head are the same motherfuckers that were at UFC Freedom 250. There's not a single fucking person out there that ain't. It is crossover 100%.
Crazy.
So it's weird to be like, I want to distance myself from literally my own fan base. It's crazy.
You, Kid Rock,
Me,
Trump.
Kid Rock, Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might not
Theo.
be. Yeah, Theo. Rogies.
On the side of a gas station in Washington, D.C.
Stand back,
You guys are
stand
sitting
by.
around a big
The flag
podcast
is still
table.
kissing on them.
Big podcast table in the sky.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah,
be sick.
but
though.
yeah, if you get hit with a bazooka at that.
You know what I gotta say? I gotta say it, guys. We have now done UFC Freedom 250, which means that now all we need to climax as the millennial generation male is to see an episode of Protect Our Parks on Epstein Island. I need it. We want it. You've teased us for years. You guys have the money and the resources to make it happen. The only thing that could possibly top UFC Freedom 250 is Protect Your Parks live from Epstein's Island. You can have Tom Segura like do a pay-per-view live like Your Mom's House thing with it or whatever, help them all out or whatever. I don't give a fuck. Needs to happen. Needs to happen.
Get hit with a bazooka.
If that's how you go.
Yeah.
I died on the White House lawn watching a UFC fight. Got hit with a missile.
That is the most American way to go. On the White House lawn during a UFC event
fight?
by bazooka.
Yes.
That's like, yeah. They'll spread your dust with a flag.
Yeah.
It's
awesome.
Yeah, it's Tillman.
We would, yeah. I'd get a statue outside of Helium. The statue of Pat Tillman running with his hair.
Yeah.
He'd be asleep.
Yeah, that would have been the perfect event to hit with a new weapon, like an emerging technology, a laser from a satellite, or you press a button in Antarctica and like a device creates like a sinkhole directly under where you're standing. That would have been perfect. And then it didn't happen. And even after the main event, I was still watching for a while. I was like, okay, here it comes any minute now. And then it didn't happen. And then it turns out that there was an attack planned.
Oh.
And they're arresting people for it now.
That's one of those things, though, where it's like, is the FBI just trying to make themselves seem cool?
I agree. Is the FBI just trying to make themselves seem cool? Facts. Guys, make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, send people into the algorithm for our poll of the day, as it is every single day on this show, with 39 minutes remaining in our show tonight on this Saturday night. JD Vance and Gavin Newsom are tied at 38% apiece.
Easy to say after the fact, being like something real bad was going to happen, but we stopped it. And we don't want any thank yous or nothing, but I just want to let you
That's a
know.
good point. When did they bust it?
When did they
After
stop it?
the report came out today.
Just
The
making
FBI
shit up.
disrupted an alleged plot targeting the UFC Freedom 250 fights at the White House on Sunday that included explosive drones designed to target buildings in the area to spark a mass evacuation. So they weren't going to blow up the Octagon, which I thought would have been, I almost said the coolest way to do it. Yeah, I'm saying give me an unlimited budget and a motive. That's what I'm talking. I'm not saying I want
Unlimited budget and a motive.
I'm not. Let me be clear. I don't want it to be blown up, but I'm just saying
An unlimited budget and a motive.
probably wanted to. And how would you do it? I think you
Bro.
go. I mean, center of the Octagon, just right. Not blowing up buildings around it so that people start freaking out. Don't do Mandalay Bay again because no one's going to believe who did what.
They pretty successfully got away with that, though. So
Yeah, it was
yeah.
kind of the blueprint.
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah,
how
they
you
got
know this
away
was
with the
real.
Mandalay Bay, it's
Officers
true.
with the Knox County Sheriff's Office and Danville Police Department were dispatched to Tyson proper on June 10th. After his mother raised concerns about his recent actions, including firearms purchases and communications with certain individuals online. He is 19 years old, and mommy and daddy are still.
Damn, that's a rough 19.
Bro, that's a rough 19. Yeah.
When they spoke to parents, they said Proper had recently met people online and had been planning recons with them. Yeah, ballistic plates, camping gear, food,
Never got that
new
2000
shotgun,
stimulus?
rifle,
Sorry for you, Richard.
lots
I
of
get it.
ammunition, using roughly $3,000 of money he received for graduation.
Graduation money.
Congrats, grad 2026.
It's stuffed in UFC White House.
And some left over from his bar mitzvah.
I just ordered him something off of his Amazon wish list. So,
You know, we were watching the fights. We ended up turning on it at Zany's in Chicago. They put it on the projector. It was a lot of fun.
That what was the
Gaethje
co-main-
Topuria?
With the what?
Gaethje Topuria.
No, I was gonna. Yeah, the Lewis fight though.
Yeah.
That was awful.
The Hokett Lewis fight.
Just it looked like a sad, tired old man who couldn't have been in less shape.
Facts.
just
Made it
getting
look that way the
the
last two fights.
out of him.
By Josh Hokett, who's
It literally looked like my AAU coach getting beaten up.
I mean, he was just like, and then he was just swinging violently, and I mean,
he was
if he
getting pissed
connected,
at
it
how
would've been-
tired he was.
Yeah, I mean, but he was. I think he threw 2 punches in the whole match.
Yeah, no,
And
it was.
Hokett said Michelle Obama looks like a man. It
was
He
crazy.
said she is a man. Oh, good for him.
Said that she is a man.
He does. Here's my thing, and whatever. I don't want to sound like a, but it's like that's not appropriate for the White House.
God damn it, faggot. Stop, bro. Quit being so fucking lame. It's like, it's a joke. It's a joke. Am I the last person on the planet defending a fucking joke? The man was bombing. He did the only thing he knew how to do. Tell a joan Rivers would be...
You idiot.
Exactly, thank you. Joan Rivers would be fucking rolling over in her grave seeing Lewis doing that. The fuck?
I'm gonna give him real attitude of the week.
Yeah.
But it's not appropriate for the White House.
Now, that's not quite Michelle Obama has a dick that a lot of people were saying. And by the way, according to them, you don't need a dick to be a man.
It's just a choice or a belief.
That should not be offensive.
Yeah.
They don't even know what a man is.
It was.
Facts! Facts, Adam Carolla. Facts, Adam Carolla. How can a group of people be offended at something when they don't know how to identify what they're offended at? Huh? If you don't know what a fucking man is, then how the fuck can you be offended at a man? Like, come on.
I feel like that event went off very successfully.
Yeah.
And this was kind of the controversial moment where the left will latch onto that and say, this was horrible.
It's basically like you invited everybody, they did the event, everything was good. They're looking like you're going to have the event this time next year, and like one of your buddies threw a beer bottle onto the field, and then why'd you do that? Why'd you do it? It was so good. We're going to have us back next year.
Yeah.
Really fast, before we see the rest of every comedian
Well, we already knew they weren't.
fight on the White House lawn, I need to tell you about the first ever Joke World Comedy Festival happening
Yo,
in St.
Joke
Pete,
World
Florida,
Comedy
August
Fest.
14th and 15th. Listen, we got a great lineup, over 75 different comedians. Comedians you know and love, like Joe DeRosa, Tommy Pope, Christina
If you're in
Mariani,
Florida,
Greg
get
Fitzsimmons,
there.
Sam
That's the
Tripoli,
event to
and a
go
lot
to.
more, too. It's going to be awesome. Live podcast, 5 different venues, all within
Straight
relative
uphill
walking
from a
distance in
YouTube
a
channel.
beautiful place of Earth.
Full-
St. Pete,
full
Florida.
comedy
Hope to see
festival.
you there this summer.
There's a lot of MAGA people that I'm friends with that are deep. They're not political. They're along for the part. They like to party.
Right.
They want fun. They're in
Right.
Florida. It's 4 p.m.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
drunk. They have like boat shows and regattas where like a bunch of boats will go out with Trump flags. When they're watching that UFC event in their house in St. Augustine or Tampa or West Palm, whatever it is, and that guy stands up because Michelle Obama is a man, there were houses that cheered when that happened. 100%.
You know
It
that.
How many do you think? Over the whole country?
It was audible in Florida. Florida, I know for sure was audible. For sure, people cheered, and it was like, listen,
Like outside bars?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
a party. The fights were good.
Yeah.
You know, it's like every cultural thing has a moment where it just explodes. And it's over after that, you know? It's like Hunter Thompson has that famous quote about it, where he was part of this thing, and then it just, you know. And I do think that every movement just gets to a point where you've done all you can do. You've done all you can do. And when you are standing in the
That is the
octagon
peak,
of a
right?
UFC fight on the White House lawn, and you're asked if you have anything to say, and you scream,
Whoa,
"Shut up,
guys,
man."
we just got a fucking burner right here, guys. It looks like, yeah, we got Joe Biden is doing a speech live right now. Joe Biden live right now, guys. They're booing him as he's starting. Maryland Democratic Party.
Well, I can't sugarcoat it.
This is live right now, guys.
Let's remember, we are one of the only countries in the world that's come face to face with every crisis we've faced stronger than we went into it. Every single time we come out stronger than we went in. Time
Does
and
he-
again throughout our history. We're
Does he know where he's at?
The better angels of our nature brought our country back from the brink. I believe with every fiber of my being that with your help, we're going to do that again this November. Look, here's the good news.
The good news.
Look across the country and you can see it.
Bro's head is reflective.
Who's elected? Democrats have won or outperformed nearly 90% of the 300 key races across this country. Democrats became governors of Virginia and New Jersey. Democrats turned up and turned out in places that we least expected, like Texas and North Carolina. We flipped 30 legislative seats in many places like Texas, Louisiana, Florida, and Arkansas. Can you guess how many seats the Republicans have flipped? 0. Not one. None. One of my personal favorites is Florida, where a Democrat won a state seat, House seat, that was previously held by a Republican, who had won the last election by 19 points. That seat just happens to represent a quaint little place you all heard of, Mar-a-Lago.
Why are they cheering Mar-a-Lago?
Well, even just the higher inflation, anemic job creation. By the way,
Alex, go look at the commencement. We did that. We did it last Friday. If you want to go check that episode out. We skipped over Biden, though. He was pretty wild. It's kind of crazy. He's talking right now, though. He's like actually campaigning for people. What is this actually for right now? Former President Biden speaks at Maryland Democratic Party Gala. This is live right now.
the middle class built this country, and labor built the middle class. Look, it's not just his deliberate destruction of NATO, and choosing Putin as an American ally, or the fact that he's diminished our standing in the eyes of the world more than any president in history has. It's not just his vanity projects, tearing down the east wing of the White House, making room for his ballroom, putting his name on the Kennedy Center, building an arch in his own
Oh, there'd be a sponsor by the Democratic Party.
even hiring his own pool guy to fix the reflecting pool.
I sound like Trump, low IQ, as we're listening to this. Really, bro? We still living in planet he's okay? Why is he still speaking out loud? This is fucking crazy, guys. Guys, come on. He's campaigning? What the fuck is going on? This is crazy.
At the core of this administration, it's the corruption. The corruption. The brazen, blatant corruption. Corruption on a scale never seen before in American history in any administration. Trump has made billions of dollars as he returned to the White House. It's simply stunning to me. He has no shame. And frankly, it's embarrassing for the country. But Trump could care less. Making money off the presidency is one of the reasons he wants to be president.
President.
It's not even the corruption and the money.
Baron Trump will be probably El Presidente? Probably.
Makes me angry. Trump wants to give taxpayers money, your money, to the January 6th insurrectionists. Oh, that's what he wants to do. People who stormed the Capitol.
Don't forget, guys, that there are a bunch of people that were booed and then kicked out of this for booing him when he started. Remember, there were a bunch of people screaming at this man when he started his speech.
Jail for a long, long, long time.
Trump is a vegetable, but this is not. You're right. Right. This is a fully functional human being, right? Is that how we feel?
I get it. I really do.
No, Joe Biden will be president again, right?
Difficult time before.
He can run again.
There's one thing I know about the American
Maybe he'll run.
They never give up, and we can't give up now. This is not about, there's no quit in this country. There's no quit in you. Folks, your governor here in Maryland is the real deal. Oh, he is. We should live by the lesson his grandparents taught him. They said, have faith, not fear. Have faith, not fear. Folks, this is just another way of saying what my dad used to tell me as a kid growing up. When something bad happened, he said, Joey, look at me. Look at me, Joey. Get up, pal. Get up, Joey. Get up. So to all you who love our country, my message to you is nice, straightforward, and simple. It's time to get up, damn it. Get up. Get up now. And continue this fight. My fellow Democrats, in this 250th year of our founding, let's get back up. Let's be the country we know we can be. Fair, equal, honest, decent. A country where we give hate no safe harbor. A land where we treat everyone with dignity and respect. A nation that's a beacon, a shining beacon to the rest of the world.
As shiny as my forehead.
Folks, I guarantee we can do this. And we will. We just need to remember who in the hell we are. We're the United States of America.
They didn't vote for him. That's the interesting thing.
There's really nothing beyond our capacity if we act together. So let's get up and fight back, God darn it.
Go make a sandwich, Sharon.
Thank you all. God bless you. And may God bless the United States of America.
And see ya fucking later. I'm a fucking Demo fucking Biden. We can do this. I don't know what we're doing.
We must do it.
We'll do it, but we don't know what we're doing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. See you later. Where the fuck do I go? Every time. I even tell you people it's gonna look weird, and I still fucking don't know how to get the fuck out of here. All right, I'm just gonna go slowly to the back of the stage.
Congressman Jamie Raskin.
All right, guys, that's all that we need. We don't need to get to this crap. All right, back to the comedians and the fun stuff. But wow, Joe Biden coming out of nowhere. I guess to campaign for Democrats for the midterm. Are we really still at this level of Democrat? As we literally are bringing out Joe Biden to speak for us?
That is the clock is
Woo!
midnight.
That's pretty crazy,
That's
guys.
that. I mean, I don't know what else you could do.
We got B-2 stealth bomber flyovers, 250th anniversary state fair carnivals, UFC at the White House, motocross jumping over the White House lawn, and the other side is like, bring out Joe Biden. Bring out Joe Biden. Jesus Christ, guys. Do you ever learn? Do something interesting or fun. Ugh.
That guy, Josh Hokett.
Yeah.
You know, that's like he's got a shtick. Like he's got a character.
It's fun.
The Incredible Hulk. And so he's basically like a pro wrestling bad guy who also is a really good fighter.
Right.
So there's a real problem there.
What
this
should
guy
have
keeps
happened?
winning.
Yeah, and he says crazy stuff.
Well, they probably, in retrospect, if they wanted to avoid this, probably shouldn't have had him fight on the White House lawn.
Sure.
Because if he said that at the T-Mobile Arena or in Madison Square Garden, outrageous.
Sure.
But not that big a deal.
But But here's what should have happened afterwards. Michelle Obama should have made an Undertaker-like entrance.
Exactly.
Let's go in.
All of a sudden, the lights go out.
The lights dim.
And then the light goes on the balcony.
If Michelle Obama...
And she comes on a cord. She flies over.
If Michelle Obama had made an Undertaker-like entrance and got in the stage and then body slammed, like, unbelievable.
That would have been amazing.
The country just exists for ratings now anyway. It's just, that's all we're doing anymore. That would have been unbelievable.
That would be the end.
It would have been unbelievable, and she would have been president next. She would have been
president next.
No
Exactly.
election. No
yeah,
election.
she would have. No election.
She's going to
exactly.
stand up to that.
Yeah,
she should have descended
exactly.
from the rafters in a cage.
Facts.
Fought that guy. Choreographed.
Yeah.
Little
Just
fake.
body slam.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Fake. And
Fake.
then she does an uppercut, and then he's on a cord, and he sails out. Unbelievable. Missed opportunity.
I just think it stinks. I think the fact that they went so far right instead of just being a sport, like just
dude, I was like choke this little fucking bitch out. I'm fucking sick of this fucking bullshit. They went so far. It was an event. It was an amazing event. It was a great event. It was not Fox News. It was not Republican. It was for all of us. You're a fucking faggot. You're a little bitch. You're a little bitch boy. You're a little bitch boy with a bitch boy podcast where you act like you're a bitch boy controversial person or some bullshit. Oh, we've been taken off of every network. Oh, we're fucking Legion of Skanks. I'm a fucking skank. You are a fucking skank. You look like a fucking skank. You fucking skank toad fucking skank.
Be a fucking sport. It's the same thing when the football players were kneeling during the national anthem. It's like just stand up. Like what are you doing? Stop politicizing it.
Yeah, right. What part of this was politicized?
You're playing with balls on a field. Go play with the fucking balls.
But this is not right or left. This is America.
This is 100% right.
It's 100% right. How is that 100% right? Because you've been indoctrinated by your fucking New York Times article, you fucking retard bald fuck. What a fucking moron. I'm getting really annoyed right now at this guy who acts like he does edgy, controversial comedy, but then he's so cucked by his girlfriend or whoever he's sleeping with that he can't see that a UFC event is just a UFC event and that no one need or did anything political other than a joke about Michelle Obama being a man.
It's Trump's birthday.
His birthday. It's also America's birthday.
It's also America's birthday, exactly. It's also Flag Day, National Flag Day. That's what people need to say. Instead of saying it's also America's birthday, because it wasn't technically, you say it's a national holiday. It's our first national holiday. We invented Flag Day before we even invented the Independence Day. Why? Because 22 plus days before the Declaration of Independence was written and sent to them, on the 3rd, the 4th, the 2nd, whatever you want to speculate, Flag Day was established as the fucking national holiday because that was the day that we rose our fucking flag, guys. Yes, it's Trump's birthday, but it's the day we rose our flag 250 years ago together.
Yeah, July 4th.
Yeah,
not June 14th.
I'm going to watch it.
June 14th is the day that we rose the flag. Fucking, oh my God, all these fucking... And you know what's really funny? Is that the men in the room that are either divorced or have wives where they can actually have opinions are fine. But all of these boys who are dating women in the cities, Shane Gillis, Lewis, Dan, have to all sit there and act like they're offended at a fucking UFC event? You're a comedian! You're apparently an edgy comedian. Complete indoctrination by your girlfriend. Cut your fucking balls off now. My fucking God, guys.
I'm
starting to push back now. Fuck this. The Michelle Obama joke was funny. Shane Gillis is wrong. Lewis is wrong. Dan is wrong. This is just simple. It's simple. It was a great live production. Shut the fuck up.
On a Sunday too.
I'm gonna watch it, but it's still like I am verbally protesting. Saying
this
it
is
sucks that the
beforehand
UFC's
anyway.
Become like a right wing organization. It stinks.
Or just kissing the ass.
Just kisses the fucking ass of the fucking president. Who cares?
Anytime a business kisses political ass, you go.
I mean, I
"Shut
looked
up."
at what's his name, Strickland's just going. It's like yeah, I'm not going to UFC Israel. He's going to UFC Israel.
He called Justin a good goy. He goes, "You're a good goy. You're
Yeah.
gonna go sit back." He goes, "Change your flag to the Israeli flag," and then he was like, "Shut up." I like when fighters get into fights and they turn into kids. Shut up, you're mean.
Look, I feel like
He's on a real cake
keep
bender.
politics out of sports. What are we doing, dude? Yeah, what are you doing? We just fucking entertain us.
I don't think that's possible, but I do think maybe on that level.
When Dana White and Trump made that long walk, it was so cringy. I mean, it's like
Why is
Dana.
that
Like
cringy?
obviously, look, Dana White he obviously did so much great stuff for the
Why
sport.
is that cringy? You're
but
cringy.
to suck your own like that, and it's so like for so long. It was such a long walk. You're like, guys,
3 minutes.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like you're literally just a video of you and the president walking down a fucking carpet for 3 minutes. That's insane. And it, in my opinion, the UFC sort of just jumped the shark in terms of what they sort of stand for, and they suck,
You jumped the shark
they
on
suck
what you
Trump's
stand
dick.
for.
I don't need politics.
What
in
do
sport.
you stand
I said the
for?
same thing about Colin Kaepernick when he was like kneeling.
Yeah.
and
Trying to make
doing
the
all
same
BLM
example
shit
again
during
after the
basketball.
event. So
Was
he made
basketball,
the same
football,
example
whatever it
before
was.
the event.
Whatever.
Now Lewis is trying to make the same
But I
example
mean, it's-
after
yeah,
the
it's-
event, and neither one is making any sense.
But it was still, it looked cool.
No one at the event no one made any political statements. The only joke that was even made was about Michelle Obama being a man by a caricature wrestler type guy. And yet he came in offended and left offended.
Yeah. It was cool. I
Pathetic.
mean, I didn't see the Topuria fight though. I saw the aftermath, and
I didn't see it
looked
either.
like
I
Gaethje
wait.
him up,
The
dude.
card was so long.
It
I
was
was
so
like, I gotta go.
I didn't even see the end of the fight because it was so long. I gotta go. So you do this for a living, but you couldn't even culturally attend the moment of the summer. Got it. Even be a TV in your own apartment. But now you get to come out here and speak publicly and tell everybody how you felt about it, right?
Yeah, this is too much.
But
I think
couldn't
Norman
be
had a great
bothered
tweet
to
where it was
actually
this is
watch
if
the
a
rest of
12-year-old
it.
became president, like with the literally the motocross and all these things.
It's crazy.
It's so.
It's like the movie Blank Check.
Yeah.
You just want the president to act like a president. You know, it doesn't got to be
Acts like a president. What the fuck
Wow,
does that
that's
mean?
funny.
What?
So funny.
Yeah,
I've been
what does
watching
that mean?
On your show for like 8 years.
You
for
are.
saying, like lower
You are
stakes shit. This.
You-
It's insane.
I'm not a though. You are. I'm fucking dope and fucking cool, and what I say makes sense.
Nah, I'm gonna be gay about this. I don't want to watch it.
I'm gonna watch.
I was like, I'm
not
gonna be gay about this and not watch it because I think it's so stupid.
Look, I'm as white trash as they come, but it's like the White House lawn should be like. Let's have.
I just don't understand this. Why is it that everybody has some sort of integrity to where an event takes place outside of the United States? These are literal human being comedians that are all standing there saying, "I'm actually offended that you did a particular live event at a particular area outside." And it's not that it was a memorial. It's not like they did it at the World War II memorial or some shit. Or in a graveyard. No, there's like not really a justification for why you don't like it other than like, I watch the media all day and I want to get laid, and all the girls that I talk to in my life say that it's actually bad. So I'm just going to act like it's cringe so that I can try to follow the trend rather than just talk real. It was fucking awesome. There was not a single bit of it that was wrong, and this is so.
Can we at least like pretend
It's one place that should be kind of buttoned up still.
Right. Can you not put Thunderdome on the White House lawn?
They're literally one
Why
monster
not?
truck away from like being.
But why not?
Bro, they were jumping.
But why not?
They were jumping.
Why do you? But why do you give a fuck? Why are you so offended by this? I don't understand why you're so offended by this. It makes no fucking sense. You have no explanation for why you're offended. You're just offended. You're grifting. You're grifting because you think that the general population will either be offended or is offended at the product, which is, again, a New York, LA philosophy that doesn't work with the internet. You have to be honest. You have to react honestly to things that you're reacting to. If you fall asleep before the event actually occurs, you don't get to sit on a podcast for 2 hours and lecture all of us. No, the people that watch the event are the ones that are reacting to the content. That's how 2026 works. I don't know if these comedians understand that.
Yeah, Travis Pastrana.
They were
literally
no.
Offended at everything. Like, yeah, they're comedians offended. These are comedians.
Fire.
Comedians offended.
Trash man,
offended at where a live event took place.
I kind of think this is America, but also I'm like, that is.
Oh no.
Pathetic.
We're garbage.
We're what?
We're garbage.
We're garbage.
We're garbage.
We're garbage.
I know, because I heard you said backflip over the fountain. I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
well, like
Creed.
Creed.
And why is that garbage too? Like what? Because those things symbolize garbage? Because again, I don't think that any of these fat fuck, shitty, lazy, fucking liberal fuck, balls cut off comedians would ever be able to get on a motocross and jump over what these people jumped over on Saturday. I don't think that any of these fat fuck, bald, liberal, piece of shit, balls cut off comedians could do anything in the octagon. Hell, Maher even said that he went to a fucking jiu-jitsu class and it was too hard and too exhausting. Now these liberal cucked comedians are going to sit here with their WWE title on their fucking desk and explain to us, America, why we're offended and why it's trashy that sportsmen that have dedicated their entire lives to a sport and live producers and directors and creatives that have dedicated their entire lives to telling stories are now somehow trashy. But you four sitting here with your WWE spinner title from John Cena and your balls cut off with your liberal comedian bullshit, drinking your fucking ultra fucking lights, isn't trashy? This isn't trashy?
That's what I'm saying.
God!
I like it. I'm part of me.
God!
I love this, but then I go, hey, wait, let's have some decorum. Like, it's not like Creed doing the halftime show on Thanksgiving at Dallas Cowboy Stadium. This
That's
is like,
that rap from your mom's house
This
very
looks-
funny.
it
I
does
know.
look sick, though.
Like, that's what I mean. Like, what, they're just trying to grift for the clicks. It's not that they think that that's actually trashy, because again, it's not trashy. It's not trashy to have pyro and thought and literally have to build a ramp around something and do an entire backflip on a piece of machinery in the air across the White House lawn. It's not trashy. It's not trashy. It takes a lot of fucking skill. It's disgusting to do this. It's fucking crazy. I had a friend of mine that did this where she goes, Larry David has done 30 years of great comedy, and I love his comedy. I don't know why you'd say this, Alex. It was disgusting that they did that on the White House lawn. It's beneath the White House. And so then I added the live producer of the production of UFC Freedom 250, and I said, this man has 2,000 followers, and just like Curry Baker, who literally created Obsession, the greatest movie of 2026, this man is a live producer who created the greatest live production in the last 20 years. And the last time that we saw a fundamental, like, huge live production like this was when Larry David had the live finale of Seinfeld, and everyone hated it. We all hated your fucking finale. The trades, the people, the community, the fan base, we all hated it. And now, unironically, this man is going to sit up there for his whatever fucking special that nobody's even heard of and explain to us why the event of the last half century, UFC Freedom 250 that was put on, that all of those artists aren't actual artists. All of those live producers and live directors and storytellers that did the cutscenes and the stories in between, they're all fake. They don't really do art. They're not really making movies and telling comedy and doing the things that I'm doing. No. Only I, Larry David, do those things. Everyone else that is near Trump, They don't do the same things as me. It's the same hypocrisy as these people sitting on their asses while they fucking talk like they're entertaining their audience. We're comedians entertaining an audience on YouTube, but it's trashy for someone of a spectacle sport to do a calculated scientific backflip with pyro on the White House lawn. That's trashy. But me sitting here with ultralights telling you about how this is trashy with my UFC or with my fucking WWE spinner and my fucking 3 liberal comedian friends that all have their balls cut off. None of this is trashy at all. No. It's trashy to do a calculated scientific fucking launch of a motocross bike across the White House lawn and land it. Over and over and over again. And it's also trashy to have a live producer that programs it. And it's also trashy for a cameraman to actually capture that in the air and have the talent to zoom into it and zoom out of it and stay in focus. Fuck off. Art is art. And you guys are fucking shit if you're going to shit on one side of art. You're the fucking problem.
Sick, but I'm gonna be honest,
fucking anybody who disavows UFC 250 is the problem and should do not support their art. Don't support their art because they don't understand other artists. Obviously,
that's gonna be so funny when they're like, they're like squaring up and they go.
Yeah, it's gonna be outside. They gotta figure out the.
I got a bug in my nose.
Right, and then they're like doing all these bug jokes, all this stuff, but again, none of that happened. It was a perfect day.
I got a bug in my nose.
I had all these fucking, it's good. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then it was all fine.
There's a river there. There's a couple rivers by there.
He's a little nervous about the bugs. We got big bugs.
Dude, that's going to be crazy if someone loses because of a bug.
We've got the best bugs.
A lot of bugs.
A lot of bugs. Wonderful bugs.
Was the temperature make everything different?
It was perfect. No, the temperature was perfect. I was very concerned about that. I was really concerned that these guys are going to have to fight in the heat, but that was not an issue at all. It seemed like it was in the 70s. The storm, like, miraculously just passed us. Like, there was all these weather warnings at one point in time. The fight was supposed to start at 8 p.m., and at one point in time, one of the weather...
Guys, make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, send people onto the algorithm, keep the chat alive, and continuing. Tell us what you're feeling, what you're thinking. We have 6 minutes left of our show, and right now, JD Vance, 42%, Gavin Newsom, 40%. Get your votes in. 6 minutes left, guys.
Experts wanted us to start at 10:30.
Hope and seed bud. The world is loving America.
Would have been a disaster because it's a 6-hour show. Somehow or another, the storm just
look at the fucking internet. Look at the World Cup
around the White House. All my fears
you're
of
grifting.
the weather
You're
getting
grifting.
in the way of the fights.
You're grifting for an audience if you're saying that this wasn't amazing.
And then
you're
there was
grifting
this
for an
long
audience if you can't
ceremonial
respect
thing where they had jets
the
fly
art
over and they played music and
that
all this
comes
stuff.
with
So
that.
by the time we got to
This
the
is
actual fights,
art.
dark out, perfect,
and you
the
are
weather was
fucking
perfect.
wrong.
So that wasn't an issue at all. And it was just the magnitude of the event. I know people saw it on television and it looked insane, but the magnitude of the event being there live. So there's the event that's taking place on the lawn of the White House, and that has 4,000 plus people.
The main event.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the actual UFC. There's a bunch of military guys that are standing up in the back. There's like 1,000 of those, and there's 3,000 plus that are seated. All these people are seated. But then behind that, not that far, like 100 yards, 200 yards, whatever it is, the ellipse has 85,000 people running for free. Yeah, so this area, they have giant screens set up, and they have, huge speakers and sound. And so 85,000 fans are watching the fights live on the screens, and they can see the lights of this claw dome in the distance, and they can see the White House in the distance where the fights are taking place, but they're watching it on massive screens with commentary. And you could hear them
Look
roar.
at that.
So you hear the
that's the thing, is you look at that and all you can do is cope. All you can do is cope and make shit up and say, no, Joe Biden should campaign in the midterms. No, Kamala Harris should run again. All you can do is cope and make up fucking lies as you see the reality of what you have created. There'll be bugs everywhere. No one's going to show up. What is that? It was a debacle. It was disgusting. I can't believe anybody thought that was all right. It was a betrayal. It was beneath us. It wasn't beneath all these people. And this image itself, I mean, on a grander scale, I mean, even if you pull it down, maybe I can see it even more. But, on a grander scale, I'm sorry, more than the Colbert, Jon Stewart rally, more than Obama in 08 in Grant Park. That's we're making shit up now. We're on a different level. I can't help you guys. I can't help people that don't just see what reality is. Like I keep telling people, the team politics is done. I keep telling people, every Democrat, senator, and House rep, and every Republican House rep and senator in the states of Texas and New York has lost their primary. Every incumbent, which means the people sitting in the seats, regardless of what they do, regardless of whether they say, I hate Trump, or I love Trump, or I'm here for the Epstein files, or whatever, they're all being voted out before they even get to run against an opponent in November. We're going to have a new cast of people. We're going to have to live in a reality where we say, this was a great American moment on the same foundation as Obama's speech in 2008 in Grant Park on election night. This is a moment that we as Americans will remember. And if you're going to sit here and you're going to live on a planet where you're offended, or you want to walk around it and say, actually, it wasn't all that great. It actually was okay, but it wasn't all that. It was actually da-da-da-da-da-da. You want to discredit people's art. You want to discredit the live producers, the people that manufactured and built the promotion to build this massive scale of people sitting here for free, watching this fight on the White House lawn as fighter jets fly by. You're fucking nuts. You're in a delusional state of reality, and I can't help you. And I think that's going to be our show for tonight, guys. Let me see. We got 2 minutes left. Damn. My speech wasn't long enough. But for real. I mean, it's for real.
Crowd from here, and then you hear 85,000 people. Just, rah! You can hear it in the distance. I'm a hyperbolic individual, and I'm always like, this is the greatest, this is awesome. Like, that was the wildest experience that I've ever had in my 20-whatever years of calling combat sports. There's nothing even close. Wow. Nothing even close. It was the greatest night of fights of all time. And it was the only night in the history of the sport where every single fight ended by knockout.
There's a lot of weird...
Wow! Something we're missing on top of all of that is that every single fight ended in knockout. It was the first time every single fight ended in knockout. Holy crap, guys. That is our show for the night. We are 1 minute away from calling the poll. Wait a minute. No, guys. Double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, send people into the algorithm for our poll of the day, as it is every day. Right now, we're tied. We have less than 30 seconds until the poll closes. Will we see a winner, or will we go tied? And it looks like we're tied, guys. It looks like you guys have hacked the system. You've gotten a second hour from me. And the way you've gotten a second hour is by making us go to a forced runoff. We're going to a second hour now, guys, a forced runoff. If you don't have YouTube Premium right now, you're getting thrown an ad. Thank you all for the support of the show. And without further ado, let's get this poll on the road here for the runoff for hour 2 of our show. Who will be president in 2028? 864 days until election, and we got JD Vance with 34 wins, and we have Gavin Newsom with 16 wins, and he's on a 3-day win streak, guys. This is hour 2 of No News is News. Usually we have to have 10,000 viewers in order to get to hour 2, but tonight is a special night because JD Vance and Gavin Newsom were tied at the end of our first hour, forcing an hour 2 on this Saturday night occasion. Let's go right now. Okay, we're going to go to now Jon Ossoff, he was our 4th choice tonight. Okay, and Jon Ossoff is here campaigning in Georgia for the German or for the Georgia governor's race for the Democrat. Okay, guys, this is a person going up against the Democrat. This is a Democrat from Georgia. Sorry, I'll be back in 1 second. I gotta take a piss.
I'm Sylvia Robinson, also known as Keisha's mom. I actually lost my identity, but it's a good loss. Now, many of you know Keisha because she's been a judge, a city council member, mayor of Atlanta, and now your Democratic nominee for governor. But before all of that, she was my youngest of 3 children, my baby girl. And I
Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to give you guys this person. This is not what we're after here. We're after actually Jon Ossoff, which is potentially a person running in 2024. He's going to come in here. He's a senator from Georgia, and he's going to speak and advocate for this lady for governor in the state of Georgia, trying to dethrone the Republican governor right now. Here he is, and this is Jon Ossoff. This is their number 4. This is the guy that keeps outbidding AOC some nights on our show. And now he's hyping himself up with some really generic hip-hop music. Okay. All right.
Thank you all so much for being here. Thanks to my friend,
Senator.
Reverend Thurman Neal Tillman of First African Baptist Church for that warm introduction. Thank you to Mayor Van Johnson for your hospitality in this beautiful city. Give it up for the mayor.
But the reason we're watching it is because he's a potential Democratic presidential nominee. People are
In Savannah, let's hear it again for the next governor of the great state of Georgia, Keisha Lance Bottoms. Now, would every veteran, every military service member, every military spouse, please raise your hand if you can and hold it high and be honored by all of us here today for your service. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Now, Savannah, are you ready to work? Savannah, are you ready to win?
They haven't
Who
gotten
came
a
here
clue.
today because you love our country? Then turn to your neighbor, somebody you didn't come with, and tell them, I'm not sitting this one out.
Why is it some like preacher ass shit? It's really weird how like Democrats treat literally their campaign like a church. It's fucking insane. Look at the person next to you and make sure that they're voting with you. What's going on here? This is fucking nuts. And then they say that. Then they say MAGA's a religious cult. Okay, literally told everybody to look at the person next to you.
The president was so humiliated in Hormuz. He threw his toys out the stroller and refused to sign the affordable housing bill. Did you see that? But wait, that's after he gave some felon donor a no-bid
Are you joking? The
contract
Republicans are the
for the
religious cult, but they
reflecting
do
pool and it filled up with
not
algae,
follow Jesus?
which
Apparently
for
your
some
guy does.
reason required the deployment of
He's
the
doing
National
Jesus
Guard.
moves on us.
And then because of his war and his tariffs, inflation rose to over 4%. He promised to bring down prices on day one. Do you remember that? Y'all know what today is? Today is day 524 before, and groceries, rent, and health care are at their all-time highs in American history. Donald Trump and his puppet, Mike Collins. They doubled health insurance premiums for more than 1 million Georgians. And
Congo down to 0-1 at half. It's tied 1-1 now. Okay.
300,000 Georgians off their insurance altogether.
I feel like it's going to end up in a draw.
I heard from a woman with cancer who waits tables for a living and said she was going to lose her health coverage in the middle of chemotherapy. And they did this to pay for a tax cut that went overwhelmingly.
Guys, make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, send people into the algorithm for our poll of the day, as it is every day on this show, with 55 minutes remaining in our second hour, our overtime hour, because we had a runoff.
A lot of weird things going on.
We don't have a victor yet, but make sure you double tap, hit that like button. Betsy was watching on Facebook live stream, thought I would check in here. Welcome back, Betsy. Betsy is a Cuban. Betsy's been with us for 3 months now as a member. Make sure you hit that membership button, guys. $4 a month. You can help support the channel, become a North Korean, eventually become a Cuban, and eventually an American citizen on the show. Get those little logos next to your name. Help show that you support the channel. Welcome back, Betsy. And welcome back, Michael.
Well, being spread about the UFC, like
take a little less gander at the comedians on the White House.
They think that someone drugged Ilya Topuria before the fight.
Yeah, they think that they sabotaged the main event to go to an American fighter. They think that Justin Gaethje had his gloves loaded, which is like, that's...
It was weird how the doctor just completely ignored his assessment and Topuria.
That was so funny to see up close, where the doctor was like, we're calling the fight. And they were like, no, 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 no. The doctor was like, okay, maybe we're not calling the fight.
Which would never happen. I wonder if there's a... Like
that is
how
true.
the commission operates in Washington, D.C., because I figure it's different
federal,
than Virginia,
right?
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Or
often
is it
fights
the
happen
same?
in D.C.
Yeah, so that's what I'm wondering. Like, is this just...
Because you know, when the UFC
no
goes to another
commission at
country,
all?
when the UFC goes to another country, they, I think, act as the commission or something like them. I don't know.
I wonder if that's what was happening on Sunday.
Maybe. I was 1,000,000% certain the event was going to get blown up.
I thought that was going to happen.
I
too.
thought
I
this
really
is
thought
this
something
is
bad
if
was gonna happen.
actually the fact that it didn't get blown up means to me that no other country is even trying to blow us up.
Right.
Because that was it. That was the one.
I did make a joke about how J.D. Vance was inside the house watching the fight on the TV because I thought that him and Trump couldn't be at the same place at the same time. Am I stupid for thinking that was the rule?
Oh, I didn't know that.
For some reason, I thought that was the rule. And then he was just sitting right behind him at the UFC.
Yeah, no, I think they're. Now I remember Obama and Biden were together all the time.
Yeah,
They're
they are together all
eating
the
ice
time.
cream on the beach and shit.
I think you're thinking of the rule that one person has to sit out of Congress meetings, so
Yeah,
that just in
maybe,
case
yeah.
everyone dies, there's one guy left.
Yeah, I thought it had something to do with everybody
I would
dying.
always volunteer for that. Get out of work every day. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you guys need someone to sit out.
You guys need someone to stay alive.
I'll go play Game Boy in the hallway.
They're bringing a UFC event to the White House lawn. They're gonna fight on the lawn.
Right. I don't
They're gonna
understand.
fight on
It's
the
funny.
lawn
Got it.
at
All
the
right,
White
yeah.
House. They're
But
gonna
they
fight
did,
at
and it
the
was great.
lawn.
But they did. And it was
They're
great.
gonna fight on the lawn at the White House.
Yeah.
No, I just want you to hear
That was
how it
great.
sounds to the rest of the world.
Right.
They're gonna
And it was
fight
amazing. It was
on the lawn.
Great spectacle of art.
At the White. First of all, I didn't know the White House
Beautiful.
had that much lawn.
Incredible.
They're gonna fight on the lawn.
Yeah.
At the White House. What is it? The
But
president.
the trans pillars with the topless fucking transvestites was totally
Gonna
fine.
fight on the
Remember that, guys?
lawn.
That wasn't a spectacle at all. Put rainbow pillars up and have topless transgenders drop dance in the fucking lawn.
You know, it's like, and
Much
it's
better,
like
right?
they shouldn't just have a fight. It shouldn't just
'Cause
be a fight.
I didn't see this joke back then.
There should also be like a Buick on blocks.
Most of the Democrats' logic excludes common sense. Exactly.
No.
Congo up
they're gonna
2-1,
fight
my
on
guy.
the-
Holy
You know
shit,
the
you
White
pulled that
House.
one off. That's my brother. He's got a fucking parlay
No,
on
you
this
know the,
Congo match right now.
the place that he already tore up. They're gonna fight in front of a torn up White House They are going to make
I'm about to
Washington,
lose my
D.C.
30
look
cents
as
though, bro.
Oklahoma as possible.
82nd minute,
you got
Portugal not
half the
not
house
doing it.
demolished. You got a fight on the lawn. And look, I watch.
I could cash out and
UFC
keep
from
10
time
cents
to time.
unless they
I
score in
love
the next.
MMA. I watch a lot of
I'm gonna keep it, guys. I need Portugal to score in the next 7 minutes of this next game. If they don't score against Ghana in the next 7 minutes, I lose 47 cents and I'm out. I'm at zero then on my Kelchi.
Man,
that's it.
But this is
right.
This is
The trans was crazy, right? Yeah,
it's
that was
also a
crazy.
bad idea because it's an event.
It wasn't necessary to have topless transvestites in the fucking White House lawn with fucking pillars that were rainbow colored. It was totally unnecessary. It was kind of crazy that they did that, right? Yeah, that's what we're talking about, right? Not the international spectacle event that brought over 100 dignitaries, the most ever, to the United States on one night and was actually outperformed every live event in the last 50 years. We're not talking about that one. We're talking about the trans dancing in the front lawn, right? That's the thing we think is a spectacle, right? Right?
Outside, and there was just a shooting at the White House outside. This is why nobody believes these when they happen. No one has any level of care or discernment or anything. That's why you look at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. There was a shooting, and then they continued the dinner. I've never had dinner good enough for a hot bullet.
I'm not going to be going to that the UFC fight at the White House. I didn't get invited, so I wonder if they're going to have like in the prelims, or some of the senators going to fight each other. I don't know, who's the main card? Is it Biden and Trump again?
Fight on the White House lawn. You can't get more white trash than fighting on the lawn.
Yeah, you can't get more white trash than international sport being brought to our literal home. I don't why is it white trash? 'Cause it's fighting? Is that what it is? It's that means it's white trash. If Bud Light sponsors it, it's white trash, or
Who's sponsoring that? Mountain Dew and meth? Oh,
again, when it was trans topless dancers with fucking colored pillars.
It's a fist fight.
There was no jokes about it. It's kind of crazy.
Imagine like the Olympics at the Wall House. You know what I mean? It's more political too. We got RFK in there, shirtless and jeans. They put him in the octagon, fight a black bear. We got Trump by Ayatollah. Come on, you homo.
All right, guys, I think we're done here. I don't even know what this is, but they're just trying to make grifting jokes that I guess people are going to care about or something. Oh, yeah, we had AOC was on MSNBC earlier today, so we can go and check in on that. We're 15 minutes into our poll, guys. Make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, send people into the algorithm for our poll of the day, as it is every day on this show. Let's go to JD Vance last night was on Bill Maher, so let's take a look at this clip earlier today that just dropped and see what
I want to tell you what people have been saying to me. I tell them, people get excited. Wow, you have the vice president on? I'm pretty impressed myself.
I'm very excited about this.
Just follow the Democratic Party playbook.
I had Pence on. I've had both his vice president a couple of weeks ago. Pence was here. I'm killing it with the vice president.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Pence isn't exactly JD Vance. So are you comparing him to Pence, bro?
What did you talk about with Mike Pence? Sex, drugs, and rock and roll?
I don't know.
What did you talk about? Yeah, exactly. What the fuck would he even? Yeah. Whoa, there's the burn. Putting him in the back seat. See you later.
He was a lot more human than I thought than I'd ever seen him. I even asked him to come on my podcast where I get stoned, and he was like, maybe. So it was good. But here's what people, when I say you, here's what sticks in their craw. Okay. The number one issue.
Like some of Bill's views? Yeah.
Not immigration. We like it that you closed the border. That needed to be done. The people who were here, the way you treated, I'm talking about your administration. Okay. You weren't out there yourself. But ICE, all that shit. Too rough, too mean, too unnecessary. I think I'm not telling you what to do. Okay, I'm just giving you some advice as a friend.
Okay.
And I am.
Yeah, again, not even asking a question on the show, just lecturing him instead.
Do that. I'm just saying you go a long way toward getting people who are just completely shut the door to you and your administration, if you would just own that you guys went too far. You went too far, and you should own it like you did childless cat ladies.
Too far. They didn't go far enough. They didn't actually deport the fucking people. You're like, well, I'm glad you closed the border, but now that we have 17 million illegal immigrants here, you're too mean to them and the Karens that you keep shooting in the street that are fighting you. What?
Okay.
Surprised he's still on the air. Facts.
Here's the basic problem with that bill is you cannot do any deportations without law enforcement, and you can't do a law enforcement operation like that without having some situations that don't look good when they're recorded like that. I mean, let me give you like just one obvious example. Let's just set aside the immigration element of this, okay? If you take a guy who's committed murder and you go in and arrest that guy, sometimes that person's going to resist arrest. Sometimes if you take a video of it and it's out of context and you don't appreciate why that person is being arrested in the first place, it looks pretty icky if you take that out of context video clip. And what I worry about is when people say you can't ever do immigration enforcement if it produces a bad video clip, what they're really saying is you can't ever actually do immigration enforcement.
Right.
We had 12 million people come into the country, into the interior
If you're
over
happy
the last
about it, then
4
you need to
years,
be happy about the thing.
or I should
Yeah,
say from
fence rider,
2021 to
exactly.
2025. And we were elected with a mandate to get some of those people out of the United States of America. You can't do that easily. Law enforcement deporting people is never an easy process. So I appreciate your argument that we've gone too far, but we couldn't do nothing. And I don't think there was an easy way to do this.
Of course, there's a middle ground. See, the other thing.
What is this middle ground? What is this middle ground fictional reality that you all fucking live in? Because I never hear an example. I never hear an example of what they actually would do. And when they had 4 years to do their example was open the border and let all of this happen. So, like, what the fuck are we doing here?
About stuff like that.
A middle ground.
Nothing ever lands in the middle, which is what I'm always trying to get people to do.
I thought you were crazy liberal.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always trying to get people to land in the middle, and he's like, I thought you were a crazy liberal. Fucking boo! Well, he's better than the Communist News Network, CNN. I don't know. Thought you were a liberal code.
You should watch the show.
I actually do watch the show. I laughed my ass off backstage. That was a good monologue. Even though you were making fun of me, I kind of liked it.
Good. Exactly. At least, again, that means that he actually can run for president. We now have two candidates that have made themselves look like human beings so far on the presidential campaign trail, guys. We have Gavin Newsom, who did the self-deprecating Kimmel sketch, where Kimmel actually made fun, actually had a impersonator of Newsom go and make fun of Newsom, and it actually was funny. And had Newsom there, and he was self-deprecating. And then here's J.D. Vance again acknowledging that even though he thinks that Bill Maher is a liberal from L.A., blah, 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 that he's sitting backstage and he saw the monologue tearing him apart, and he can be self-deprecating enough to say, I still think it's funny. And that's what you, fundamentally, that's why Donald Trump won against these two females, and it's fundamentally what you need to have to be able to be president. Even Joe Biden had the ability to be self-aware. You have to be able to be self-aware, or you just can't have it happen.
I know someone in your administration who watches the show.
That's good.
You're right. The second lady, she's a big fan. Second lady's a big fan of Bill Maher.
All right, guys, make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, send people into the algorithm for our poll of the day, as it is every single day on the show. Who will be president in 2028? With less than 20 minutes left at our show, J.D. Vance currently coming away with it. We're going to go now to AOC dropped an interview that she did on MS Now with Jen Psaki. So here we go.
Of New York.
AOC.
Congresswoman, thank you for being here with me tonight.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Let me start by just a lot of people, not just in New York, but across the country, there have been a lot of takes, shall we say, are trying to make sense of what the elections meant, what they mean for the Democratic Party. What do you think they mean?
You know, I think that these elections mean of course, they are reflections of the constituencies and communities that elected them and that rendered them. And I can say, absolutely, at least in the city of New York, voters are just really ready for a Democratic Party that stands for something and has a very strong agenda to make our lives easier, to tackle corruption, to lower costs, to make healthcare a right for every American, to raise wages, to make unionizing easier in the workplace. And they want to make a forceful statement in how badly they want to see us fight for that. And I think that in any robust year for Democrats, I believe you're going to see an expansion of a party and a deepening of our commitment. And so I actually think that these results are a very good sign for November. To your point, when I was elected in 2018, an election like mine, where voters were willing to...
This is a perfect time for me to jump in and just say, guys, thank you guys all for watching, for checking us out. We are in overtime right now, even though you all didn't deserve it, because we were tied. Just need Argentina to win the parlay now. Holy shit, my bro. But mine is up some on where I'm going to cash out. I'm going to take the 5 cents. Was I able to sell it? Sell it. Give me my cent back. I sold it. I got 1 cent. Got 1 cent. I'm going to make my way back up on Couch, you guys. All right. We're going to do AOC here with Jen Psaki. I'm going to go take my dog for a walk because I did not expect overtime with you guys. And I will be back in a minute. Okay, guys?
Really, trade in someone that was supposed to be the presumptive next...
Hold on, guys. Sorry about that.
Speaker of the House in my predecessor, and trade that in for also a Democratic Socialist, a new organizer at that time. I think that is actually an indicator of places in other parts of the country willing to elect Democrats, even if the politics are not the same, even if those communities don't align with those with those same exact agendas. They are willing to take a chance for a better future. And so I don't think that people should be seeing this as a zero-sum game. I think they should be seeing it as encouraging for November.
It's interesting because even in the state of New York, and you alluded to this, I mean, Michael Lasher, you probably don't share every opinion or position with him. You definitely don't share every position, I don't think, with Richie Torres on a number of things. Both of them won in primaries that night. I mean, Michael Lasher in a very competitive one. Do you think this is because, and I just played some of what people on the right wing are saying on television, that this is an over-torquing of the rise of democratic socialism and not enough of a focus on the broad people who won? Or how do you see that? Because you're a democratic socialist yourself.
I mean, I think that the one thing that we know is that the Republican Party's brand is fear. And they have to constantly churn what they want people to be afraid of. To be afraid of socialists, to be afraid of immigrants, to be afraid of women, to be afraid of... They constantly want Americans in fear of somebody. Because if you are not afraid of someone who is your neighbor, you're going to realize who's actually pickpocketing you. And that is the large corporations that are engaged in profiteering and jacking up your prices for no good reason. It's going to be in this administration that is engaged in record levels of swindling, thefts, tariffs, your housing. And so this is kind of their new thing of the day. But I think that people are feared out. I think that everyone's nerves are shot in constantly being taught and told of what country, person, community to be afraid of. And they just want a solution. They want their groceries to be more affordable. They want to figure out how we're going to get health care. They want our housing to get under control. And I think that we're ready for an affirmative vision. and we're ready for an affirmative agenda.
You talked about this week kind of how the fear-mongering, you had deja vu, I think is how you described it. And you just alluded to that and what you just said now. What advice are you giving or would you have for these new members who are coming in and are already being painted in a certain way? And I want to talk about them too, but what advice do you have for them about how to get things done while still shaking up the system at the same time?
Yeah, you know, I think new and incoming members have no shortage of advice that's being given to them.
Well, but you lived it.
Yes,
you
yes.
lived it in a very different way.
Yes, and I mean, I'll get to them, but I actually think the more important advice that I would give would be to my incumbent colleagues, which is you will create a self-fulfilling prophecy by deciding who these young women are before you've met them. And if you are already panicking and sending little messages in your group chats about how these people need to be reined in and tamped down and shown their place, you are creating the antagonistic dynamic that we do not need. These are two young, talented, intelligent women that got elected against all odds, against millions of dollars. Perhaps there is something we can learn from them.
The people chose them. And democracy and the Democratic Party is about what the people pick. It is not about any elected official or any leader, and I believe that. Do you, I mean, there are, and I want to ask you about this because I think they are being painted in a certain way. And Daria Lisa, specifically, who is going to be a member of Congress, I think people should recognize. They are going to win in these districts. She has said a couple of things, and I think for people who are watching right now, I just want to remind them of that. She attended a pro-Palestinian rally in Times Square the day after the Hamas attacked Israel. She said she was worried about an outsized reaction that cost thousands of people their lives. She has not backed away from attending that rally. She deleted a Twitter account that had a number of posts that called for the abolishment of police and prisons. According to CNN in 2021, this is what there's a reference to. She posted, "A world without borders, just like a world without prisons or police, is possible and necessary and the only moral way forward." She's again has said those posts don't reflect who she is today. You do not speak for her. You speak for yourself. And I know she's tried to distance herself. She's probably under a greater level of scrutiny she's ever been in her life. But does any of that give you pause?
I think that, as you said, she has indicated that she has regret over the way that she issued those statements. And I genuinely believe that the gravity and the responsibility of this role has a way of inhabiting you. And I genuinely believe that we have to give people the opportunity to occupy their beliefs within the gravity of becoming a duly elected member of Congress. And I think that in the process of running for election, in the process of getting to know your constituents, it's very different than when you're only speaking as an activist or years ago or whatever that may be. But I think where we are right now is that the people of New York's 13th district have elected her. And she is responsible and has absolutely, I think, expressed a sense of responsibility in how she wants to lead. And so, again, I would say, I think it's important to not issue a verdict before these folks arrive. And, you know, I went through the same thing. I will never forget. I had this moment. There's, you know, everyone sees the floor of the United States House of Representatives on C-SPAN or whatever when we're casting our votes. But there are these little rooms attached to that floor, and it's known as a cloakroom. And in the cloakroom is where members can rest in between votes or if you need to get a snack or something. And they have televisions there. And I remember in my first term, I was sitting down on one of the couches, and there was this big television screen. And they were going on and on about You know, the way that they were clipping something that I said out of context to look extreme and to look far more inflammatory than what it was, and most importantly, who I am. And I remember sitting next to a congressman, my colleague, a Democrat, sitting next to me on the same
30
couch.
minutes left in our
And he's
poll.
looking
30
up at
minutes
that
left in our
television
show. We have Gavin Newsom 37%, JD Vance 63% right now, guys. Keep those votes going. Keep double tapping. Keep hitting subscribe, and keep the algorithm full of good conversations as you guys have been tonight. I appreciate all those conversations. Be back momentarily with all of y'all. Just got to get my reset in, but I am listening along. We are watching earlier today AOC interview with Jen Psaki.
In disgust and just shaking his head. And I was sitting there right next to him. He had never once struck up a conversation with me, but he had made a judgment and determination of who I was. And it was incredibly dehumanizing. I was met with so much hostility and cruelty by the Democratic caucus when I was first elected. And I think that it created so much more antagonism than what was necessary in that time. And so I think that both ends of this relationship require work, right? Both ends require a stepping up and a certain magnanimity for us all to get what we want done. I'm an unabashed progressive, and I want to guarantee health care to every American. That's my agenda. That's why I'm in this business. And there are other Democrats that don't agree with me, and that's all right. They know what I'm after, and I know where they're at. But what I'm not going to do is allow my humanity to be erased, and I don't think that these newly elected officials should have theirs erased either.
I think what you're saying, what I'm hearing you say, is you think people should give these people a chance and see what they do when they govern. And the challenge seems to be that you, as a leader of this movement, as one of the leaders, are going to have to make sure this doesn't define what the movement is about, I think.
Well, also, listen to what they're saying now. Everyone's talking about...
No, I'll tell you what it all is, because I just heard it out of her mouth just now. She said that her number one agenda is now healthcare. She has gone down the Bernie Sanders route. She learned from Bernie Sanders that she can stay here her whole life and stay in establishment as long as she has the pharmaceutical reps in the back pocket of her hand, and she gets to lobby for progressive change to healthcare for the rest of her fucking life. And she gets to make millions and millions of dollars every single year. And she learned from Nancy Pelosi and the others, and that's basically what she's doing. Is she's saying, yes, I was the revolutionary. Yes, they're the new revolutionaries. I'm no longer part of the revolutionaries. I don't know why you're interviewing me right now. I'm just trying to keep my little fucking seat here in New York for as long as I want. Potentially dethrone Chuck Schumer at some point when I gain permission. But my number one agenda is healthcare. Not the cost of living, not rent control. She's from fucking Queens, people. Her number one thing is healthcare now. And these new people that are coming in, we just got to see what they're about. Not I'm going to lead them, but we got to see what they're about.
Statements and things from years ago, but they just ran an election. Listen to what they've been saying now. Listen to what they ran on now. And
she doesn't understand that she's also on the chopping block. Because as I said, it's all incumbents. She might not be running right now, but she should be running scared just like the rest of them. Because again, if you're going to sit here and you're going to say, oh, I am a progressive socialist and I'm here for health care. Bye! Goodbye, says normal American in 2026. Give me something of standard, please. Health care. Fuck off. That is not a progressive issue. You are not a progressive. You are a grifter trying to keep your seat. And you will no longer keep it. Because we see through the bullshit. It's the reason we voted for you less than 10 years ago, lady.
Because that is their voters'
I was one of them in Queens. I fucking was one of them that started.
For everyone, for one statement from years ago,
and it was to take out the old people.
Please
now we're gonna have to take her out.
what she's been discussing in her debates.
I want to talk about where things go from here, because I think there are so many hopes, probably from every person watching, anybody out there who's concerned about what they're seeing from Grandpa in the Oval Office to happen right now, about what Democrats will get done. And I know you've said in the past you would support Hakeem Jeffries for Speaker, and you can tell me.
Make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, send people into the algorithm for our poll of the day, as it is every single day on the show with 25 minutes remaining. Keep that chat alive. Keep it constant, guys. And 43 votes in. We got J.D. Vance 60%, Gavin Newsom 40%.
Again, if that remains the case, Senator Slotkin, who I would say is one of the Democrats that you may agree with on a lot, you may not agree with on everything, I suspect. She had this to say. She said, we need significant new leadership. If people can't recognize that the game has fundamentally changed and can't adapt, then they need to make room for others who can. And she was referring to Jeffries, and she's, of course, in the Senate, to Schumer as well.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? And what do you think Jeffries needs to do to prove that? If you think he needs to do anything to prove that.
I think that anyone who says and issues a statement like this, I think it's important for them to get prescriptive about the changes that they want to see. I've been pretty clear about where I think the country should go. I think that we need to move forcefully to guarantee health care to every American. I think we need to move...
Health care. No longer about rent control. No longer about any of these seize the means of production socialist activities. Instead, it's just, I think we all deserve health care. Okay, Bernie Sanders. Okay, Junior Bernie Sanders, collect your money. We'll see how long you last. I think we've had enough of this bullshit, guys.
Raising wages and taking on
complete
corporate
lies,
corruption
crops of shit
and
from
profiteering.
fucking somebody collecting a
But
fucking
there are a lot
check.
of folks who talk about change in leadership that don't necessarily articulate what their direction is.
Sure, but you're not articulating a direction either. You're saying, my direction is healthcare. And anything else that happens in the world, not my lane. Fuck off. Fuck off. You represent everyone in Astoria, Queens. You're a socialist Democrat, apparently. And now you're here saying, I know what I stand for, healthcare. Shut up. Shut up.
And so
You're going to.
That it's
She's
important
going
that when we
to.
talk about change.
I'm sorry.
we
People
talk
have had enough of this
specifically
bullshit.
about the kind
You're
of changes
grifting
that we
too.
want,
You're just
because There are a
grifting.
lot of people.
Every
in this
one of you
country,
motherfuckers
and there
are just
a lot of
grifting.
Forces and lobbyists that want the Democratic Party to become even more pro-corporate than it is. And so.
Oh, okay. Good stance. It'll get worse if you put people in there that might not win. Then it could get worse. We could get people that are even more APAC'd, more corporated out. Go fuck off, you shill. All right. I gotta see. I gotta know. Is it literally because Gavin Newsom? We also got Gavin Newsom here, and is Gavin Newsom just grifting now too?
So many times we have seen
Gavin Newsom dropped a new
con
podcast
people
of
are
himself.
Sicker, hungrier, poorer.
Because that's what people
than they
do.
were
They
before.
create a podcast when they're running for president.
This is Gavin Newsom.
And now we're
And
listening
this
to
is
Gavin
Brian
Newsom.
Tyler Cohen.
And somebody's actually paying him to do this podcast.
Brian, it's great,
while also
great
Gavin.
you're joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming all the way up to Sacramento.
Well, you know, I was. It's not the longest
We'll
trip.
do something
You're a
for the
Hollywood
day.
guy, right?
That's
You're
it.
LA. You're Mr.
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah.
People forget you were an actor years ago.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
How did that? Well, you know, was it that forgettable?
Yes. In fact, it was.
Seriously, when you got out of college, was that your dream?
It was. I wanted to move out to Los Angeles and
He's
work in the
gonna win,
entertainment
guys.
industry. I
God
worked at
damn it. I
Fox
know what he's doing.
Broadcasting
He's
Company.
good at
was
it.
My first job.
He's good at
Who's
it.
your first, huh?
Yeah. So you know,
He's just being
Simpsons and
interpersonal,
Family Guy, like
charming,
that whole
LA,
universe. That's what it
chill.
was for 5 minutes, then started acting and
Good, easy
I was
conversation,
always,
right?
There came a
Better
point
than
where
AOC.
I
She's
had
looking
done
like an
the
oligarch,
18th
guys.
Doritos commercial
AOC
before I was
looking
like,
like an
I'm not sure I'm feeling fulfilled. I'm not sure this is it. And
there must have been one Doritos commercial that really stood out.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, not so much. There was a Cars. I mean, it's so embarrassing. There was a Cars.com commercial. It was just so not didn't didn't feed my soul the way I needed it to.
Well, is that you're saying that because they're not advertising on your 3 podcasts? Is that it?
Yeah, they
Not
can
now.
redeem themselves
They can
by
redeem
advertising on my
themselves.
podcast now.
But it not only it's not even feeding the soul. You got to feed the, not just the pocketbook. You got to keep fed, right? I mean, it's a tough business.
It is, and look, I mean, I think for people for whom that is the thing that they
I don't even
have
know who
to
this guy
do,
is. This is what happens in LA.
then it's
We're supposed to
awesome.
all know
I mean,
who he is
just
just
like
'cause he's sitting
the
next to Gavin
hustle
Newsom.
is great, the industry is great. I mean, even now, I mean, we've spoken about this at length in the context of the TV and film tax credit. Like, I love the TV industry. It is like LA is the coolest entertainment industry town that there is, and we export culture. To the rest of the
I don't
world.
think
And
Gavin
that
even
is
thinks
awesome.
that anymore.
Yeah, no, and
I don't even think Gavin thinks that anymore. I think Gavin's getting some tips from his kids. Because that was a look of a Californian looking at an LA guy and going, I think you guys' time is up. That's what that looked like.
You have been a huge champ. Every time we get together, you invariably, doesn't matter
Walks
what we're
it
talking
off.
about, what
Doesn't-
subject, you
doesn't
always
brag
end,
about the tax
and
credit,
what the
walks
hell
it off.
are you doing? We need more support
Yeah.
for Los Angeles and LA.
Uncap the fucking tax credit.
And that's all you keep saying.
That's all-
Uncap the fucking tax credit.
Yeah.
That's your motto.
But I love the industry and I love the people that work in it and they're storytellers and we're just so lucky to live in a state where this economy is bolstered by that industry.
No, I agree with you. And by the way, for the record, anyone listening, we've more than doubled the film tax
true.
credit in
That's
last
true.
year and seen real results. We're seeing actual real results, including the iconic Baywatch back on the beaches. of
Wow,
Southern
guys,
California.
that's the big brag. I didn't even know that they did the Baywatch, but I guess they're bringing back Baywatch, and the only reason they are is because the state of California paid for it. Thank you, Gavin Newsom. Huge brag with the bringing back Baywatch with tax dollars.
Those
Good
guys-
job,
and
my guy.
When's that thing coming out? Shortly, right?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I do know this.
Doesn't even know exactly. Like, isn't that how LA is? Jesus Christ! Now the fucking guy's holding this book up. My God, I hate California. I truly do.
Then your new book, July 14th, right?
That's it.
I love it. So the day after, How to Wield Power. I'm going to talk about that in a post-Trump world. This coming off your bestseller, Shameless, #1.
Yeah.
New York Times bestseller list. Not bad. Which came out, 2 years ago?
That was almost, a year and 11 months ago. So I gave myself 5 minutes before I started writing
5
the next
minutes.
one.
This is a quick read. Not a 5-minute read, but it's a quick read. It's very familiar. And I love how you sequenced it. And I was joking.
How would you
with
know?
right
You can't
before we got
read.
on this podcast. I said, I've never done this. I never have notes. I always read. I'm always, quote unquote, prepared, mostly.
Bro's never gonna be able to live it down. You can't just sit here and casually talk about reading when you literally have the most viral moment of the year be that you explain on stage that you can't read.
But rare do I actually
Stay away
put
from the
out
reading,
and sequence
even if
my
there is a book,
thoughts
my
in
guy.
terms of the interview.
It's not a good
love
look.
How it starts. I love the prologue. I love the
California hates me?
epilogue when you get to
Thank
those two
you.
things and the 10 plus
Sending
chapters in
hate
between.
from Texas
But I love how you
to
start,
California.
which is I think how
You're
a lot of
welcome.
us, and I'm not. I mean this. Like a lot of us long for the day of that opening scene in January 2029. New president of the United States behind the Resolute desk. Donald Trump. Contrast that scene, little Hollywood here, down in Mar-a-Lago, stressed, frustrated, bewildered that J.D. Vance has just lost the presidency. And the advisors for the new president of the United States walk into the Oval Office, first moments, and this ongoing dialogue, this debate, this dialectic, as some have referred to it, between the forces, Ron Brownstein refers to it, of restoration.
Imagine being into a book like this. Imagine being like, ooh, that sounds like the kind of shit I want to spend the next 3 months reading.
And the forces of transformation. And that frames the opening of your book.
And I think that's, I appreciate that. And I think that, we kind of had the opportunity to live through the former. I mean, that's what Joe Biden's presidency was. It was a return to the.
Yeah, it was a return to normalcy. Yeah, again. And how was the normalcy for y'all? Back to Jon Ossoff on stage. This is the guy that might be out there instead of AOC or Newsom. This is our third option on the Democratic side, guys. Oh, he's saying the word damn. He's got a little allergy to him, huh?
Because while hundreds of thousands.
Make sure you double tap, hit that like button, hit subscribe, send people into the algorithm for the poll of the day, as it is every day. Who will be president in 2028? With 15 minutes left, Mr. J.D. Vance coming away with it. 15 minutes left in the show, guys.
Builds Trump a ballroom. They worked harder burying the Epstein files than they ever worked to lower your grocery bill. And while you pay more for everything, the Trumps are raking in billions from all over the world. Illegal tariffs, failed war, healthcare cuts, and unmatched corruption. 34% approval and a presidential legacy cemented in disgrace. But he didn't just promise to lower prices. He promised to keep
By 2028, Lotto will be in jail or deported.
Instead, Donald's defeat sent gas prices soaring and made America weaker and less secure. And just like the Iraq War, the Donald Trump, Mike Collins Iran war is a war built on lies. Lies about intelligence, lies about the war's purpose, and lies about its progress. Daily lies, hourly lies, lies and empty threats. Donald
They don't want to talk about Epstein, so he just yelled out. Neither does he, apparently, because it's not like he turned around and goes, yeah, they don't want to talk about Epstein. Let's talk about Epstein right now. No, he was like, yo, shut the fuck up.
And quote, there will be no deal except unconditional surrender.
I like
He
that
said,
one, Michael.
Quote, we're going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. And at his most desperate, quote, a whole civilization will die tonight, said the president. And all the while, daily promises of total victory. Did you see it, Savannah? But the reality of the situation is brutal and undeniable, because instead of unconditional surrender, the Iranian regime is emboldened. And instead of destroying Iran's missiles, we burn through years of our own. American facilities across the region were heavily damaged. 13 brave, heroic American service members were killed in action.
Guy's gonna have a chance. He really is. You can tell. I mean, he does have the charisma. He don't have any much damage either, so not much damage for him.
Iran also still controls its stockpile of highly enriched uranium. A stockpile it only built after Trump shredded President Obama's Iran deal. Do you remember that? A decade ago, Donald Trump attacked President Obama for lifting some sanctions to secure nuclear inspections and restrictions on Iranian enrichment. This month, Donald Trump was lifting sanctions just to reopen Hormuz. On Wednesday of this last week, he said the war was, quote, done. And then on Thursday, another ship was struck. On Friday,
That's facts.
bombing again, and last night, Iran attacked Bahrain.
That is facts.
But see, this is what happens when you send
I like
your
his,
son-in-law
the way he's saying it, too.
to cosplay as a diplomat.
He might overtake Newsom on a stage. I mean, honestly, he's got charisma.
Prince Jared was tapped to lead Middle East diplomacy. Now remember, Jared's slush fund, Affinity Partners, already got $2 billion from the Saudi crown prince. Did you know that? And even now, while negotiating for the United States over Iran and Gaza, he's actively asking Arab princes for billions more. Not for the United States, for his own business. Okay, but here's a twist in the story. There's this beautiful little island off the Albanian coast called Sazan, and Jared Kushner wants it. So he took his Saudi billions and he decided he and Ivanka would buy the island and build a luxury resort. And then, like clockwork, just a few weeks after Trump wins a second term in the White House, Albania's Prime Minister grants
Iran did that? I thought they were trustworthy. Ain't that facts?
Permitting and approvals are expedited to help the American prince develop his new island. Now, this island is an Albanian national treasure, some of the last pristine coastline in the Mediterranean. Its waters were a national marine park protected from development until Albania changed the law to let Jared Kushner build his resort. And it turns out, Savannah, that ordinary Albanians are not fans of this arrangement. There are, right now, massive national anti-corruption protests, like tens of thousands of people in the streets of the capital, Tirana. They're calling it the Flamingo Revolution, all sparked by opposition to Jared Kushner's land deal.
This guy might be able to pull it off. Is he going to be our next president, guys? I think he could. He's definitely overperforming AOC or Newsom.
Now, do you think Jared Kushner would get special island buying privileges if he weren't the president's son-in-law? And isn't he supposed to be doing diplomacy, not shady land deals? And it's not just Jared. Listen to this. The son of the other Middle East envoy is raising billions from the Emirates for the president's crypto business, while the president grants the Emirates the rights to our most sensitive technology. Your tax dollars are backing a Trump family tungsten mine in Kazakhstan. They are.
I mean, he's got it down, guys. He's not reading from the script. He's saying it. He's talking to you on it.
To cover up the Epstein files.
Even touching the Epsteins. This guy might be able to do it if you give him enough coverage. He doesn't feel artificial.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God, in front of the United States Congress.
This guy might beat Newsom and AOC. He might really. I don't know if he's bought yet, but
they act.
He's got some spunk. He's got some real fucking spunk. And it feels real, like he's genuine. He's not Obama. He doesn't take too long.
Like they expect permanent impunity. And it reminds me of my opponent, Congressman Mike Collins. Listen to this. A few years back, this degenerate political staffer named Brandon Phillips had been convicted of multiple crimes in Bibb County for some brutal violence.
But just look at the way he talks, guys. Even if he's looking at the prompters, he talks with an authenticity where you listen to the story. Even if it is artificial, and he really doesn't go for the deeply fabricated, like, January 6th shit, or like the swamp means he's a Nazi crazy shit. Like, even Kamala Harris got baited into the crazy end of the stick when it came to TDS. This guy is talking calmly. He's articulating story-driven narratives that kind of are founded in fact. They're the things you would push back on with the Trump administration. Jon Ossoff is the real deal. He might be, guys. Also, this is happening in Savannah, Georgia. This is a deeply red side of Georgia that he's doing this campaign speech, and he's getting way more energy than anyone else on a fucking Saturday.
A few months later, he was arrested.
No one else working like this on Saturday as a senator.
Again
Man might deserve it. Man might deserve the nomination. Not saying he gets the presidency, but nomination might get it. Because, guys, here's the thing, is let's go now and let's look at the other side of it, okay? Newsom, we know what's going on with him. He's just going to be the paid for, bought for, money. Right? He's everything. But the other one that's here is what is she going to do? Is she going to scapegoat and run for president? Is she going to lead these new liberals into like a new like clairvoyant control over the House of Representatives? Is she going to disappear and take the fucking bait and just run for the Chuck Schumer seat and have it given to her for 30 or 40 years? Like, what is AOC's goal and thoughts right now? What is she going to do? We know Newsom's going to run, and he's the money candidate. And we know that Ossoff is looking like a prime deal to put money up and give him a campaign. And Ossoff don't got nothing up against him. So Ossoff would take anybody's money to go and run a campaign just to get his name out there, just to be able to start writing books, making money as an actual senator. So it's going to really come down to, like, does AOC run? That might even hold Ossoff back. I mean,
talking about change.
But Ossoff is looking mighty fine after that speech.
And so when I talk about change,
he did win that. He won that Senate seat. You got to give him that too.
Unabashedly working class, and to orient itself again around working class Americans.
I don't know if this works.
And I think that
this feels
part
so
of the conversation
Nancy
because
Pelosi.
It's kind of in vogue to be talking
so
about change. When people aren't prescriptive about what those changes need to be, I think we need to be asking further questions.
I read just a part of what she said. I take your.
I don't want to do change until somebody tells me what the change really means. Like, it sounds like Nancy Pelosi. It sounds like 10 years ago. What got AOC in?
Person to lead.
You know, I've engaged in many conversations with Leader Jeffries. And for me, and we have a broad caucus, right? For me, I have made very clear that one of my priorities in
healthcare,
in determining and in a leader determination is securing public housing financing for New York City. And Leader Jeffries has made his prioritization for the residents of public housing very clear. And for that reason, I will be supporting Hakeem Jeffries for leader.
You know how this works.
I didn't know she was actually going to go for it, but she basically said out loud there, people, if you didn't notice. AOC basically said, I'm going to see if these socialists are actually communist crazy people or if they're just socialists like me. But as far as I'm concerned, we're done with the old Democratic Party and we're going to go full socialist. We're going to take over the New York housing market. We're going to put a permanent ban on, like, uncapped rent in the state of New York. Like,
you've been so generous.
They're going to go for it,
We're
guys.
going to stick around.
If they
First
get
all, I
in
just want to tell you
charge,
something quite telling. You may have seen this, but it's
they
been a busy
could really
day.
go for it. And she actually said
Speaker Johnson
she's going
told
for
a
it
room
still.
full of
The housing thing. The housing thing is what I was looking for. Saying shit about healthcare. That's how Bernie Sanders made an entire career for himself. It's how a lot of Democrats. Fucking Bill Cassidy did that for 20 years until he just got kicked out in Louisiana on his own primary because of this bullshit. It's an easy one because you get all of the financial backing from the pharmaceutical industry. You get unlimited funds from them. And then you get to walk around and say, I'm helping people with healthcare. It should literally be poison to say the word healthcare as a senator or a House rep. If you say the word healthcare, we know that you're an op for pharmaceutical companies or you're bought and paid for by pharmaceutical companies or your agenda is to collect their money. And no, we've been fucked hard enough by 2020 and everything afterwards. No more. So like when I hear the healthcare shit, I hear grifting, I hear Bernie Sanders. When she just said that thing that she just said about the fucking
Freedom Coalition's
about the housing,
it's quite something.
If we were to lose the midterms, heaven forbid, these Democrats, y'all, impeachment's not even the big concern. They will turn every committee of Congress into an investigative body, and they'll go after the president's family, the cabinet, his donors and friends. Half of you in this room will be targeted. I run the protection program. I'll take care of you, okay?
I'm going to get your thoughts on that when we come back.
Okay. All right, guys, I think that's our show for the night, everybody. Thank you so much for stopping by. No news is news. Let's get the final tally. Oh, no, wait. We're still waiting. We still got 60 seconds left, everybody. 60 seconds left in hour 2. Oh, I should check to make sure that we didn't hit a weird jump or something. No, we only got 8,000, so we did not hit that 10,000 that we would have needed for me to go for a third hour for y'all. And it looks like we are going to get a victor here, a winner in this race this time around in the runoff. Well, drum roll, please, everybody. Here it is. After an hour, JD Vance stops the 3-day streak by Gavin Newsom and wins it. Peace out, Michael. See you later. And now we got JD Vance makes his 35th win, everybody. 35 wins now for JD Vance, 16 for Gavin Newsom, 2 for Marco Rubio. I will see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow I might go live a little bit earlier because tomorrow is all about Meet the Press and all the early Sunday morning shows. So as long as they drop their content by noon, I'll probably be noon, 1 p.m. Central Time, sometime around then most likely. But yeah, and then back again every single weeknight at 5 p.m. I will see you then. Peace! Oh no, I forgot that I'm... Shut it.